Guys, this is insane. I'm here with the Zeekr 009. It's a super high performance minivan that we're going to be getting in Australia a little bit later in the year. Obviously, I'm not in Australia at the moment though. I am in China at Ningbo Raceway. And today I'm going to take you for a full review of this weapon of a minivan. It's actually mind blowing. So we're going to check out the exterior, move on to the interior. It's crazy luxury on the inside. Talk about practicality, of course. Then of course, we are going to launch this thing because it has an insane amount of power. I'm talking a really fast 0 to 100. Then of course we are going to drive this thing on a track. We're going to see how it performs, wild stuff. And then I will give you my final thoughts. Should you buy a Zeekr 009, or at least put down your expressions of interest? Let's get into it. Alrighty, let's talk about the way that this thing looks because it is insane. You can see has a bit of a welcome sound to it when you turn it on. It's going to be flashing on that screen, unfortunately, but you're going to see all of these crazy LEDs here. The whole grille lights up. It's a striking car. You've also got the Zeekr badge there, and down the bottom, a huge chrome inlet. And it is, I don't know, it's just got such a presence. I mean, what do you guys think of the design? Let me know in the comment section. I think it is wild. Let's check out the side. Okay, so coming to the side, I'm so glad that it doesn't have huge wheels. These are 19 inches with Pirelli P0 tires on it. You need it because this thing shreds its wheels otherwise. And you've got a thick wall of rubber there. Now this has, I think I found where the speaker lives, somewhere in there. Now this thing has as standard dual chamber air suspension, and when you combine that with this thick rubber, it is one of the most comfortable cars I've driven, at least driven on track. You've got a camera there and a camera there. This thing has a wicked 360 camera system. Another one there actually. You've of course got these doors with soft close on them as well. Pull this and you have an automatically opening door, as you would expect for a minivan, especially a luxury one. This seat has comfort access as well, but we'll come back to the interior. Pull that and it closes again. It's just wild. You've got very tinted privacy glass here too. Some cool little graphics there with LED lighting, so your passengers are safe, and some more tinted privacy glass there. Otherwise, it's a big fat minivan. What do you expect? Let's check out the bum. So coming to the bum, you're gonna see a pretty standard looking minivan, to be honest, but it does have a cool light bar that runs across the back. Got the Zeekr badge there that glows. It's very cool. You've got another camera there, your reverse camera. Otherwise, a lot of glass. This one is absolutely wrecked from being on the track, but it's somehow held up pretty well. You've of course got a powered tailgate, and in the back here, you're gonna see heaps of room, even with this third row up. And then under the floor, you have a tire inflation kit. We don't know if it's gonna come with a full-size spare or that tire inflation kit. Who knows really? But yeah, a pretty impressive exterior. Let's check out the interior. Alrighty guys, so it's actually been a couple of days now, and we'll go back to the track, don't worry, but I really needed time to mull over this interior and think about it because there's a lot to talk about. Apologies, because all my B-roll is gonna be with the black interior, and this is the white interior. It's the only one I could find, but let me tell you about the ultra luxury version of this. Now, it's not confirmed for Australia, and we probably won't get it anytime soon, but it would literally put a Rolls Royce to shame. You get a 43-inch display, some of the nicest rear Napa leather seats ever. By the way, as standard, this car comes with Napa leather, but these are like extra special. The front seats are just like this, but you've got a partition between them, and it's like a real chauffeur's car. One of the craziest, most elegant, most luxurious cars I've sat in. So what about the Zeekr 009 that we're going to get? Well, first of all, listen to this. It's quality. It's real quality in here. Like I've said, this is built on the same SEA platform that you'll find across a lot of luxury cars from Geely Group, like Polestar, Lotus, Volvo, like very, very good brands. You touch around and there are soft touch materials absolutely everywhere. Even the steering wheel is just so nice. It feels really, really good to hold in the hands. In terms of technology, that's also very good. So you've got this driver's display up in front of you. It shows plenty of information. Then you've got this massive like 15-inch display that's very, very snappy. It's got a very cool animation of the car. I don't love that all the air conditioning controls are within the screen. That is kind of annoying. I wish there were some physical buttons, but thankfully it's always on the display so you can access it very easily. You can also access your heated and cooled seats, your massage seats. Unbelievably nice. Also, it's got that Tesla thing where if you want to change the vents, you do have to use the display. Again, it's kind of unnecessary, but I guess to differentiate themselves, they're just throwing every bit of technology at this car. Speaking of, this thing gets like 36 speakers from a Yamaha sound system. It's unreal. In terms of I/O, it's pretty good. You've got a wireless charger here. Now, it's a minivan. It has to be good at storage. So what's that like? So you've got a pretty massive glove box here. It's nice and felt lined. You've got a couple of cup holders here and a pretty massive center area under there. You've got a nice soft center armrest. Open that up and it's felt lined with 2 USB-C ports and a 12-volt socky wocky. You've got pretty massive door bins there too. And the dash is so expansive. It's insane. Material choices in here too are very good. So nice and soft like leather here. You've got this suede on the doors. No matter what color you get, apparently apparently, and it does just feel like a luxury yacht. It's very, very nice. Not to mention, visibility is fantastic. Even the A-pillars, they're like opened up so you can see straight through them with glass. Like I said, this is built on a really expensive platform, and it seems like they've thrown the textbook at it in terms of coming with every luxury possible, and that is even more evident in the back seat, so let's check that out. Okay, so if you were hoping for luxury, you're gonna get it. This thing is absurd in its luxuriousness. So like I said, we have Napa leather throughout the interior, and these back seats are no different. Obviously these are white and the B-roll is black, my apologies, but same thing. As you can see here, you've got this beautiful ambient lighting. It's very, very cool. You can control the windows for both sides through here, and also for the giant panoramic sunroof at the back. It's split from the front just for structural rigidity. This piece here above the B pillar exists. This car needs it to be able to perform really well, and as you'll see when we drive on a racetrack, this is one of the most strangely good handling MPVs I've ever sat in. It's seriously like a benchmark. So this configuration is likely going to be standard in Australia. Nothing's confirmed, but this is likely what we're going to get. And I mean, it puts the Lexus LM we drove to shame. So first of all, it's so comfortable. It's so comfortable. If you pull back this little area here, you'll see that the seats are heated, they're cooled. You can adjust literally every aspect. You can recline it back. You can lift up the leg rest, and as a result, it seems to push forward the driver's seat if no one's sitting there. You can also turn this dial here to turn on the massage seats, or you can just press a button and it will just move you automatically. Isn't this unreal? It's so nice. But anyway, let's reset back to where we were. Each seat here has its own cup holder, which is nice. You get a fast charge USB-C port and a nice felt line storage area. You can also lift this up and pull out your tray table. Isn't that insane? And by the way, this is all Napa leather, and this, it's all real metal and leather. It's crazy. It feels so good. You can type on your laptop, you can eat your food, do whatever the hell you want. You know why? Because you made a wise choice in buying this car, I reckon. If you press this down, you have a USB-A port and an HDMI port, and also a remote that you can see here. And that is for this display here. If you press a button, it folds out. Crazy. It's not a touchscreen, which sucks, but you can just use the remote to operate it if you want. So your kids, they're gonna be super duper happy. And you got a little storage area under here as well. It's so hard to reach because everything's far away. And yes, there is a third row. You get a couple of seats back there, and they're actually pretty good. So at 5'11", I have enough leg room, heaps of toe room, and headroom is also really good thanks to the MPV-ness of this car. You can also turn on the air vents back there and have them sway automatically, just like a Toyota Crown. A very luxurious feature. You also have a cup holder back there and another USB-C fast charger. So yeah, overall, this interior space, unbelievably good. It is super duper luxurious and an awesome place to spend some time. And I have spent a bit of time now being driven around in this thing, and it's wild. Now, we will launch it in just a second and see just how insanely fast this MPV is. But before we do, quick shout out to us, CarSauce.com/buy. We've partnered with Motorscout, Australia's #1 car buying service, to get you guys the absolute best financing deals for your next car. We have thousands of dealers who we work with to get you the best deals. We charge you nothing. It's totally free for you. We charge the dealer a fixed fee, and that means that we go in hard to get the absolute best price for you and the best outcome. Join our many, many happy customers by heading to CarSauce.com/buy when you want to buy any new car. You can't buy this thing yet, but when it does come out, you know we'll be on top of it. Alrighty guys, let's launch it. Alrighty mummies and daddies, it's time to launch the Zeekr 009. This thing is crazy as you're about to see. We have our specialist timing gear. We're here in China. We're gonna brake it and go. Oh, it's a gentle acceleration, but it's fast. 0 to 100 in 5.13 seconds. A little bit off their 4.5 claim, but considering it's wet, I'd say that's pretty good. Oh, and we're not even in sport mode. So I just realized now that I did the launch in comfort mode, so I can only imagine that the sport mode would get it closer to 4.5 seconds, which does kind of suck. But I've only got one lap in this thing on the track, so we just have to talk about it. Alrighty guys, so driving the Zeekr 009. Now this is a really interesting one because, well, it's a minivan. Also, yes, I've got a to my right to make sure that I don't crash this thing, but it's a luxurious minivan and its specs are crazy. So it comes with either a 116 kilowatt hour or 140 kilowatt hour battery, which are pretty significant sizes, but you kind of want that. And that gives this a range between 600 to 800 kilometers on the CLDC, but that is, yeah, take about 25% off that, to be honest. It also comes in a single setup, which is a pretty insane dual motor setup, which puts out 405 kilowatt of power, 686 newton meters of torque. And even though it does feel really quite powerful under the foot, you definitely don't need to floor this thing anywhere because one, it's got plenty of power, and two, I will say the suspension is super duper comfy, like very, very soft, but its body roll isn't too bad. And you can see that when we turn a corner here, there's definitely body roll, but it's actually not bad. And you could thank the fact it has a huge battery pack right underneath the car. So the center of gravity is really nice and low. Steering as well feels totally natural. In fact, a lot of this has been tuned with Volvo. They have their new minivan, which I'm not entirely sure they really wanted to build, but it's essentially this car under the skin. And so it has a lot of very, very European driving characteristics to it. And it doesn't feel bad. It just feels good. Of course, we'll have to wait till we see it on Australian roads, but for now, I think that's a pretty good intro to this thing. Drives well, and it's fast, even in comfort mode, apparently. All right, let's get into our final thoughts. Alrighty, guys, so final thoughts on the Zeekr 009. What a weapon of a vehicle. Quite literally, this thing weighs a lot, and it is fast. It's got a really, really nice interior, and I think if you're looking for that Toyota Alpha that heaps of people are importing into Australia, and you want something that's really extra special, this is gonna be hard to beat. Of course, we will have to wait and see what the prices are, but if it's about 100 grand, which people kind of think it will be, at least starting out, I think that's a pretty amazing price for what you get. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What do you think of the Zeekr 009? If you want to go watch my Zeekr X review, that is out now. And of course, we have a vlog coming out on this as well, so you definitely want to subscribe. And if you want to buy one of these, well, I guess in the future, or any other car you want the best price with cars that are in stock, head to carsauce.com/buy. Ciao for now.